Hey guys, it's Lauren and welcome to my channel. So today I am in the attic at my parents' house. You can see the fun curve of the ceiling there, and this is a guest suite up here. So I'm sitting on the bed, and on this wall behind this bed here, I'm gonna do a buffalo check painted picture wall. We've started by having the wall painted flat white. And then the other color I'm going to use in this buffalo check is going to be a tan color. It's called Wild Mushroom by Valspar at Lowe's. It's kind of just like a medium tan color. And that's going to be the darkest tone in this buffalo check. Then I am going to have to mix some of that white and tan paint together to create the other tones in this. So for buffalo check, you're going to have 4 tones in total. I'm also going to be using measuring tape, a large level, a pen, painter's tape, and then I'm gonna use this smaller paint mixing bowl because I am gonna have to mix some of the white and tan colors together, and then I'll just mix it in here. I'm gonna start with the lightest tone, and then I'll be able to add more of that tan color for the medium tone. And then for painting, I'm gonna use a medium-sized paint roller brush, not the large one, and a little shortcut paintbrush. I measured from the top of my ceiling down to the baseboards, and I'm at just about 7 feet for the main height of this wall. So now what I'm going to try to do is figure out the spacing that I want my lines to be. I'd like to have an even number of lines going down the wall and then going horizontally. I don't really care if I have an even amount for this wall or not. I think I'm going to do my stripes every 10 inches. I marked 10 inches at several spots from the ceiling, and now I'm going to take a level, make sure this line is level going across, and draw a nice solid straight line. Now I get to draw horizontal lines going all down my wall every 10 inches. So my horizontal lines are all drawn on now. Now I'm going to start taping off the lines, but first, to make this easier on myself, I'm just going to go ahead and label every other line with a T so that I know those are the tan lines. So what I need to do is I need to tape the outside of the lines surrounding the tan. All right, so my horizontal stripes are all taped off, and I have every other line marked for where I'm going to paint. And I'm starting with white paint, the same white that the walls are painted. And I'm just gonna add a very small amount of this tan to the white paint. To finish blending these two colors together, I'm gonna use a paintbrush after I'm done stirring with the paint stick so that I can get the little excess that's actually on the container itself and blend that in. And now with the corners painted where I need them, I'm going to go ahead and use one of these medium-sized roller brushes to paint in between the lines. All right, so this is your tutorial on how to do a striped wall. I am tempted to stop here, But what I do have to do now is go ahead and take the painter's tape off while the paint is still wet. All right, so I'm gonna let this thoroughly dry before the next step. I'm gonna go ahead and start marking lines on the white sections that are dry for my vertical lines, which are gonna be next. So once again, I'm gonna be going about every 10 inches for these lines, because I want this to be a square pattern. But to make it a little bit more centered on the wall, I already measured and I have about 8 extra inches to work with. So I'm gonna go in about 4 inches from this wall, do my first vertical line, and then I'll have another 4-inch section, hopefully on the other side of the room when I finish my lines. All right, so I have my vertical lines all drawn on the wall now. And so I get to tape again with the vertical. And once again, I'm going to mark a T where I'm gonna be painting, and that'll be for tan. And then I'm gonna be taping on the outside of the lines that surround my T's. So I'm gonna paint this with a little bit of a darker tan, but not my darkest shade yet. So I took the same bucket I was working with earlier and just added a little bit more of that tan paint to it and mixed it up. I did clean my brushes, and now I'm gonna use my actual paintbrush first and do the edges. And then I'll fill in the rest with my paint roller like before. And technically here, I don't have to worry about the bands where the light tan is so much. I need to focus more on covering the white sections, because the tan sections are gonna be the 4th color once I'm done with this layer. All right, I need to let this layer dry now, and then I'm gonna go back over and do another layer of painter's tape following the same beige line. So I'm gonna block off these sections, and then I'll have my final squares to paint where I have the dark and dark overlapping. And so I'll kind of just use the side lines as a guide for where to place my tape. So now I have my darkest tan paint, and I'm gonna go ahead and start filling in these squares that I taped off. This is the last step. And then while this layer is wet, I'm gonna go ahead and take the tape off. And here's that finished buffalo check wall. I think it turned out really nice. We're going for a cabin theme in this room, so I think it's definitely gonna tie in with that look. If you'd like to see how the room turns out though, go ahead and check out this link to my channel, and I'm posting another video there on creating a guest suite at my parents' house, and this is part of that guest suite.